Hello, I will be reading Good Grief, Gardening is Hard Work by Charles Schulz with the Little Peanuts characters. Then I'll tell you a little bit about gardening and how it really is hard work. There's Lucy and Linus. As soon as this ground is spaded, I'm going to organize my garden. I'm going to plant potatoes and beans and radishes and peas. Why are you telling me this? Linus said. Oh. You want me to spade your garden? I'm not used to physical labor. Then you should get used to it. It'll be good for you. There he is, hard at work, trying to spade that ground. I need a push. Look at this. It's so hard for him. I think I hate gardening. I'm exhausted. I can't move. I'll never be a farm worker. I can't even get up. Just dump me off the side of the road. I need some help. I need someone to help me spade my garden. Look who she's asking. She's asking Snoopy. Here's the world-famous hired hand ready to go to work. Okay, hired hand. Here's what I want you to do. This whole yard needs spaded so I can plant my garden. Are you sure you've done this kind of work before? Doesn't look like Snoopy's done it before. Look at that. He's having just as hard a time as Linus. Oh dear. Oh, he's getting mad. Look at that. He just kicked the shovel and now he's hurt his foot. I've never worked so hard in my life. I wonder if it's all right to rest on this job. No resting, Lucy said. Here, hired hand, take these packages of seeds out to the garden. Oh, the phone's ringing. I'll be out in a minute to show you what to do. I'm sorry, I can't talk to you right now. My hired hand and I are planting my garden. Oh, look. Snoopy's planting without her. It looks like he might be feeding it to the birds. Okay, hired hand, let's start planting my garden. Where are all the seeds? Don't tell me you've planted them already. Boy, you're some hard worker. Well, all we have to do is wait for everything to come up. Maybe I should visit my brother in Needles for a few years. Because he knows he didn't do it right now, did he? So that's a cute little story. Now, gardening does take a lot of work. So I'm going to open up my world book. It's an encyclopedia. And you can look this up online, but encyclopedias are cool too. Now let's go to gardening. So some things here, see on this page, some indoor gardening equipment may include fluorescent lights or windowsills. You need plants need a lot of light. They also need water. Yeah. And then I've got an example here of something that I planted a few weeks ago. Now this is basil in here. And what I'm going to show you, look at that. It's starting to grow. Now that's several weeks. So I planted them and have to make sure the soil is moist every single day, and it takes weeks and weeks for them to come up. So you just have to be patient. So this nonfiction book, A Kid's Guide to How Flowers Grow. Now I'm planting basil. That's not a flower. That's an herb, but it's the same concept. Secrets inside a seed. Flowers are bright and beautiful and make the world a prettier place. You can grow your own flowers by planting tiny flower seeds. Each seed holds the information needed for the plant to grow. If you give the seed a good home in the ground, it will send roots down into the soil and get water and nutrients. A stem will come out of the ground to absorb the sunlight. So that's what you're seeing here. The stem of my basil plant is now out, and it can enjoy the sunlight when it's, on a windowsill. As the stem grows, it will use water, nutrients from the soil, and energy from the sunlight to make leaves. In time, a bud will grow. From this bud, a flower will bloom. New seeds will grow inside the flower. So, see, we've got a child tilling the ground, making it able to ready for plants to be planted. So you put your seeds in the ground, and you cover them up with soil, and you water them every day. As a science project, we've decided to plant a flower garden in the schoolyard. They knew they need seeds, dirt, water, and sunshine to make their plants grow. They chose a patch of dirt 5 feet long by 5 feet wide. They made sure the water hose was nearby and that the area was very sunny. Next, the class checked the soil. Good, fertile soil is crumbly and flaky. It's not as soft as sand, but not as hard as clay either. It's the kind of soil that makes good, squishy mud when it gets wet. See? Ready, set, and grow. Flower seeds must be planted just right, just like herb seeds. If they are buried too deep, the plants won't be able to find their way up and out of the soil, and they won't be able to find the sun. If they are planted too close together, they will fight each other for water and sunshine. So you have to place them, a few inches apart, each one. Our school class read the planting instructions on the backs of the seed packages. Then they planted their seeds in 3 straight rows. To make the rows, they put a stick at each end of the garden and tied a string between them. Following the string, they used their fingers to poke seed holes into the dirt that were deep enough and were the right space apart. Finally, they put 1 seed into each hole, covering the seed with dirt, and watered the soil. It's important to keep the dirt in your flower garden moist, but not muddy. So you have to make sure it's wet, but you're not drowning the plants. The students checked their garden each day by poking their fingers an inch into the dirt. If the ground was dry, they sprinkled it with water. They gave the plants plenty of water, so the roots had to stretch down to drink. The deeper the roots go in the ground, the stronger the plant will be. The water plants take from the ground is important because it contains nutrients the plant needs to grow. Water also makes it easier for nutrients to move from the roots to the rest of the plant. The power of sunshine. In order to grow, flowering plants need sunlight. Plants also use something called chlorophyll. Chlorophyll, I'm probably mispronouncing that horribly, to help them grow. This gives plants their green color. It also helps plants pick up energy from sunlight. The plant then uses this energy to use water and nutrients into sugar that the plants can eat. This process is called photosynthesis. Most plants need about 6 hours of sunlight a day to help them make enough food to live. Okay. So that's why windowsills are actually pretty good, making sure that it's a window that's in direct sunlight for at least 6 hours a day. Mrs. Grant, the students were excited to see their first flowers. Some students were so excited that they leaned in close to smell the flowers. They noticed a fine yellowish powder that was left on their noses. This powder is called pollen. Flowering plants don't grow beautiful flowers for us. They grow them to attract bees and birds to help them spread their pollen. When they land on the flower, bees and birds pick up the pollen on their bodies, and then when they fly away, they carry the pollen with them and leave it behind in the next flower they visit. This is called pollination. Without pollination in flowers, they cannot reproduce. Also, good information about gardening. Yeah. So there we go. So if you're interested in gardening, there's a little bit of tidbits, and you can look up more information by checking out encyclopedias. There's Britannica encyclopedia online. And then if you're interested in gardening, go out and garden. Bye.